On the February 25th, Nigerians went out to vote. Albeit Nicodemously, on the 1st of March at 4 a.m., a certain individual was declared president-select. My choice of word advisedly, and I'm ready to face anything for it. So,
a warm welcome to all viewers, our lovely viewers on this love channel, this same channel that brings you political updates back to back, this same channel that keeps you updated on the polity in Nigeria and abroad, this same channel that gives you all you need to hear about the stability of the government and the developmental sort of politics going on in Nigeria, and so on and so forth. My name is Angelo Himalayas, your anchor. I have something quite different from the ordinary. Yes, trust me, I always bring something quite different from the ordinary. Now, lots of questions have arisen in recent times about the whereabouts of the president-elect, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Well, there is an answer for you. This answer came straight from a very reliable source, and I had to go deep, delve into my archives and make my researches, make contacts, and get this particular answer for Nigerians and obedience. Yes, not only obedience though, because this particular news is going to interest all obedience. Now, the CEO of the popular entertainment magazine we all know, talking about the Ovation International, Dele Momodu, has disclosed to the general public the whereabouts of the national leader of the APC, who happens to also be the president-elect. And Dele Momodu has come out to say or to allege that Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu is on a sick leave in London. Yes. Now, Momodu stated that Tinubu is in the UK right now, London to be precise, to recover from an operation that he underwent a few weeks ago. He called it a knee surgery. Okay. Now, in an Instagram post confirming the visits of Governors Rotimi Akeredolu, you remember, and Kayode Fayemi of Ondo State and Ekiti State, respectively, Momodu made a statement and portrayed and confirmed the story. This is a very, very reliable source. Now, furthermore, the president-elect Asiwaju Tinubu is in London, allegedly recuperating from a knee surgery, according to Momodu. This, however, contradicts a statement released last month by the president's one of the president's media aide, one Tunde Rahman, who is also Asiwaju's personal assistant on media. And this statement read that Asiwaju was never in a hospital and he has no medical problems at that time that would require him being hospitalized. This was the statement that was let out by Asiwaju's media head, or one of his media assistants, okay, few weeks ago. They're talking about Tunde Rahman. And this time, that was when Asiwaju came back after the collation of results. He came back with a sort of medical tube in his hand, and still we are being told that there was in no way that the president-elect was sick or hospitalized. That update is done and dusted, and I hope that those involved would listen to this and know where the truth is coming from. If he is so healthy, then why hiding his health status from Nigerians? Okay, being sick is not an issue. Everybody has the right to be sick, and everybody can be sick, because one's body is also a sort of mechanism or a system that really needs some sort of attention, medical attention at some point, due to the working system in the body. Of course, no one works, or nobody works like in a few weeks or few months without getting sick. So Asiwaju has the right to get sick and also has the right to be treated. Then why is it being kept as a secret to Nigerians? That is what we would continue to check out for and give you updates as time goes on. Secondly, I have something quite surprising. Yes, I'm talking about the Labour Party internal crisis. Barrister Julius Abure, the national chairman of the Labour Party, has come out again to speak on his legitimate chairmanship of the Labour Party. This time around, he has given us an evidence that is above the ordinary. This evidence is no other than a very special evidence. After you watch this particular evidence, you will know that yes, Barrister Julius Abure still remains the legitimate chairman of the Labour Party, and you will now understand why I beg your pardon, Lamidi Apapa and his cohorts, Ansel Merabe, and then the other person called Abayomi Arabambi, you will now know why you feel, or it has been said over and over again, that they have been parading themselves as intruders. Yes, this time around, Abure is speaking from the national office, his own office, from the National Secretariat of the Labour Party in Abuja. Is that not enough proof? Watch him.
You can see that I'm speaking to you live. I'm making this broadcast from the office of the National Chairman of Labour Party. This is my office, and I'm here. Apapa is not here. Nobody is here, so I'm here. So no court has suspended me. The matters are in court, and we are dealing with it. We are very sure that at the Court of Appeal, we will be able to get justice. It has come to my knowledge that mischief makers like Apapa and his group are busy carrying out propaganda and misinforming members of the general public. I know that members of the public already know them and know where they stand. But for the purpose of putting the record straight, hence it has become imperative for me to make these few clarifications. First, that no court has suspended me as the national chairman of Labour Party. I need to state here ab initio that I remain the national chairman of Labour Party. We are in court, and yesterday in court, we had raised objection to the preliminary objection to the entire suit, and the court only ruled that they have jurisdiction to hear the matter. Nothing more, nothing less. And for them to be going around town saying that I have been suspended by the court as the national chairman of Labour Party will show to you the high level of desperation and the haste for these charlatans to satisfy their paymasters. I therefore want to urge all Nigerians, urge our party supporters, urge Labour Party supporters to disregard the information being transmitted and carried by Apapa and his cohorts. It is very clear that these are people who does not mean well for the Labour Party. Even if we have disagreement at the national level, is it enough to be withdrawing election petitions across the states? As I speak with you now, the Apapa...
That is that. We couldn't demand for more proof than what we saw in that video. There is no legitimacy a chairman or a national chairman should hold than making a speech from the confinements of his office in the National Secretariat. This should serve as a sort of proof to especially those who were really getting it twisted or getting confused over the legitimacy of Lamidi Apapa or Barrister Julius Abure. That's that on that particular update. I will still tell the Lamidi Apapa-led faction that they are on a wild goose chase. I don't see Apapa becoming the Labour chairman anytime soon. Yes, that about that. Now, something quite tribunal-like. Yes, Professor Chris Nwakobia, who is also the chief convener of the Country First movement and also a member of the OB30 Presidential Campaign Council, has clarified the constitutional requirements for a president to ascend the throne, talking about the 25% issue that was one of the prayers tabled by Peter Obi and the Labour Party in the ongoing Presidential Elections Petitions Tribunal at the Court of Appeal. Now, I would like to ask few questions that answer this particular short interview granted on Rise News. For those who have been so confused over these questions, I guess there is a quick answer for you. First of all, must the president-elect win at least 25% of legitimate votes cast in Abuja? That's the first question, which Professor Nwakobia Chris is going to answer in a moment. Then, if you are all conversant with that particular answer, then here is the most confusing question and statement amongst this. Did you know that according to section 135 subsection 1 of the 1999 Constitution of Nigeria as amended, the president's tenure in office could be extended legally? Do you know? Fine. If you don't, I would allow Professor Chris Mustafa Nwakobia to let you know and drive you into the matter more deeply and intricately, so you could have a better and broad understanding of the constitutional requirements of being a president in the country, and if President Muhammadu Buhari could still remain in office while the 29th day of May swearing in can be extended over the ongoing Presidential Elections Petitions Tribunal if not resolved properly. So that is that. Hear from Professor Nwakobia.
On the February 25th, Nigerians went out to vote. Albeit Nicodemously, on the 1st of March at 4 a.m., a certain individual was declared president-select. My choice of word advisedly, and I'm ready to face anything for it. So he was declared. Did he meet the provisions of the Electoral Act? Did he meet the provisions of the Constitution of Federal Republic of Nigeria, sections 134, 2B, and sections 135? The answer is no. And so what must we do? Are we going to go ahead on the May 29th to swear in a president who didn't meet the constitutional provisions? These were the arguments of Dati Baba Ahmed when he clearly stated that any attempt to swear in the president-select on the 29th of May will be dealing a murderous blow on the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, and by extension, dealing a fatal blow on democracy. And I say here,
all right, Prof,
sense of responsibility.
Prof. Nwakobia, sorry to
that
cut
the reason we're in court, Steve, let me chisel this in, please, Steve.
Okay, all right.
The reason we're in court is to ensure that we help our democracy. The reason we're in court is to ensure that the justices help us to protect our democracy and ensure that those who live in Abuja are protected not only by the Constitution, but by the judicial process. And so nobody's saying extend the tenure. The Constitution says that the tenure of a president, the sitting president, can continue until such a time when a new president takes an oath of office and is subject simply to the situations envisaged by the Constitution. We must effectively determine who becomes the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. And Section 134 2B clearly states, without equivocation, that the man who must sit as the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria must win 25% of the votes cast in the Federal Capital Territory. Must is the word. Because if you look at the Constitution, you see that it clearly says that you will win 2/3 of the states, including 25% of the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja. That you should not swear in a man as president until the court determines his status as president-elect or president-select. Had he won 36 states of the country, had he won 36 states of the country and not won 25% of votes cast in Abuja, he shouldn't be declared president-elect. And that's the intendment of the draftsman of the Constitution, because he must be popular in the state where he wants to superintend over Nigeria from. Steve, let me make you look at this clearly. The president is the governor of Abuja. Are you aware? He superintends over Abuja through a commissioner who is the Federal Capital Territory Minister. And he has one senator. He has about 6 or so House of Reps members. Abuja is entirely politically different from the states. You can't lump Abuja into the status of a state. Anywhere the Constitution wants Abuja to be considered as a state, it doesn't clearly state so. But with respect to winning or becoming a president-elect or the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, the Constitution was clear and unambiguous. Professor Chris Mustapha Nwakobia Jr., the convener of the Country First Movement, will continue consistently until the courts determine the substantive matters, refer to Bola Ahmed Tinubu as the president-select, not of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, if you like, but of INEC. All we have had since February the 25th is a litany of hubris, deceit, chicanery, and perfidy. And I think that the time has come for us to put a hole in this gamut of deceit. Steve, I believe that the call of the obedience for a new Nigeria, where leadership is responsible and responsive to the people, will not be like the wait for Godot. Steve, I believe that a new Nigeria is in the horizon, and I believe that the judiciary will do right. And my faith is not outlandish. My faith is rooted in that inimitable quote of James Russell Lowell, who said, and I quote him, "Truth on the scaffold, falsehood on the throne. That same truth sways the future. For behind the dim unknown standeth God in the shadows, keeping watch over his own." Truth forever on the scaffold. No matter how you hold it down, it will come up. It will overtake falsehood. Our battle is a battle of light over darkness, truth over falsehood, hate over love. And you know what? All over the country, across Nigerians in diaspora, there's a dim unknown. Like you stated, 29th of May is just next door. And people are asking themselves, what will happen with our mandate? Will this man be sworn in on the 29th? And I said to you, Steve, and to Nigerians who are listening to me, behind the dim unknown standeth God, keeping watch over Nigerians, understanding that the time for a new day and a new deal is now. The time for a new republic is now. The time for a new tendency in governance is now. The time for a watchman who is responsible and responsive to the people is now. And Steve, nothing can stop it.
Without much bias and without much ado, I would like to draw a long conclusion that Professor Chris Nwakobia is not wrong. I wouldn't like to say he's politically driven right now, but according to the 1999 Constitution and Section 135, subsection 1, of course, the president has some sort of allocations, or the seat of the president has some sort of allocations to it. Of course, Abuja cannot be compared to any other state in a government setting. So you shouldn't treat Abuja like other states. Abuja is the federal capital territory, and it has the president of the country as its governor, okay, who governs the country through Abuja by a state minister called the Minister of the FCT, okay? And this minister has other parastatals, federal parastatals that are answerable to him. Finally, if you go to the National Assembly, Abuja itself has an allocation of up to 6 members of the National Assembly. Why? Because it is also seen as a state in that aspect, but not electorally. So basically, according to what Professor Nwakobia was saying there, is when addressing Abuja in the electioneering process, you should be able to ascertain the fact that Abuja exists as an entity according to the Constitution in the electioneering process, but exists as a state when it comes to dividends of revenue or revenue allocation and other activities. That is that from our table. I hope you stay glued to Nation's Voice Tower, and don't forget to like, share our videos, watch till the end, and don't forget to make it go viral by sharing to people in Nigeria and in diaspora. See you in my next video. Bye.